Hello there, welcome to another video from Wizard Soon, and today I'm just going to touch briefly on the topic on the legendary gauntlet that is going to happen tomorrow. And this time the legendary arenas that we are going to have, according to the chronological order, we're going to have the Latias, followed by Moltres, and then last but not least, Uxie. So I'm just going to briefly touch on the tips and tricks with regards to all these three legendary arenas, so you'll better prepare yourself for the event starting from a few hours time of this video. First up, we have Latias. What is unique about this legendary arena is that Latias, you will be facing 3 opponents instead of just usually 1 in the legendary arena itself. Okay, as for Latias wise, this legendary arena first happened around March 31st or April, depending on the region you are staying at, since 2021, and it was actually repeated somewhere around in November last year, and so this time it's coming back again. And it is one of the few legendary arena that's being joined by 2 other dragon type Pokemon. So for Latias wise, her weakness basically will be Dragon for the first phase, Fairy for the second phase, and Dragon again for the last phase. And one more thing is that for Latias, you should be focusing on reducing Latias stats downwards, because she does have that ability whereby the more stats that's being raised, her overall stats will be softened up. So in order to weaken her down, basically using moves that will decrease her stats will significantly reduce her advantage in the battlefield. So next up we have Moltres. Moltres, a fire type, which I believe it was released somewhere about July. Yeah, the first event was being July, and it recently there's a rerun back in just a couple of while back, if I remember correctly. So for Moltres, it will be a weather based legendary arena. So the moment when Moltres is out in the battlefield, sunny day will be up, and Moltres will have abilities that is very advantageous when the sun is up. So for matches against Moltres, changing the weather to your advantage will be highly recommended. It can be either sandstorm or even rain or even hail, so long it is not sunny, because the way that is passive ability to be able to be boosted at the sun, it far outruns any of our available sim pairs that we can own actually. So if you are feeling adventurous, running hit against in a sunny day, although I don't really recommend that, it would be possible, but always remember, at the end of the day, when the sunny day is up, Moltres is going to deal more damage to your team than you can do to Moltres. So one thing about Moltres, a weakness will be basically rock type for the first phase. It will change to water type on the second phase, and then back to rock type again on the third phase. So this is something you have to take note of, weather changing for Moltres. Last but not least, we are going to touch on with the last legendary arena, that will be Uxie. For Uxie wise, the type weakness will be ghost throughout all the phases. But what is interesting about Uxie is that it has ability that will significantly reduce damage if it is either not inflicted with a status condition or a status changed. So I'll touch on what is a status condition. So on phase 1 and phase 3, you need to inflict a status condition so that your damage, the damage done to Uxie will not be significantly reduced. So what is a status condition? That will be a burnt, poison, frozen, and paralysis. And then phase 2, they will have acute senses. Basically that means that so long Uxie is not affected by any status change meaning trap, flinch, confusion, it will deal significantly less damage. But one thing based on my experience when running Uxie is that usually you can afford to negate, or rather ignore the acute senses. You still would be able to bring it down to the entire phase with a very powerful sync move, and you can just focus on the status condition, because frankly speaking, not a lot of the sync pairs is able to do both status condition and status chain at the same time. The only exception Pokemon that I know of that can do that is basically Erica and Tangela. It has the ability to trap and to inflict poison. And the next tip that I'll be giving is basically when you are choosing the when you're forming your team of the 3 Pokemon in the sync pair, when you press the tactics button to select which is the first sync pair to be targeted, it will always be a good idea to have the first targeted Pokemon with the lucky skill Vigilance, because a lot of the time for this legendary arena, when the phase changes, a lot of the time those legendary Pokemon would have additional I would say additional effects such as sure hit and sure critical hit. So with Vigilance, that will actually negate the critical hits that will be inflicted in your first targeted Pokemon, which is usually your tank. So just make sure that when you go through all the different lucky skill, make sure that your first Pokemon in the roster that's being targeted always has Vigilance. That will greatly help you to maneuver out any kind of the hacks and possibility, especially when a critical hit can change the whole course of the whole legendary arena battle. So of course, the best objective you're going to aim is just use 3 Pokemon and finish off the legendary arena. So in any time within the Gauntlet event itself, if you failed to use just only 3 Pokemon to finish one legendary run, don't be shy, just quit the game and restart again, perhaps to enhance your team or to maybe have a bad run, just rerun it again. So there I have it. These are pretty much the tips for the legendary arena, legendary Gauntlet event. I will link the on the description for the past legendary arenas that is focusing on the Latias, on Moltres and Uxie, so you have a great idea on how to deal with them. And I'll say good luck for your legendary Gauntlet event run. I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya!
やったね当然の結果よね